Discussing about the high speed railway, right? So in Vietnam, it's pretty new.
Hubs are linked by a sleek, cutting-edge rail system that can whisk you across a country in mere hours. This is the bold vision Vietnam is preparing to turn into reality. At a time when global attention often shifts to infrastructure projects that redefine mobility and modernity, Vietnam's upcoming high-speed rail project stands as a testament to ambition and transformation. Beyond the promise of faster travel, it carries the weight of uniting a diverse nation, reducing regional disparities, and forging a pathway towards sustainable development. But can this dream become a reality? Will the staggering investment and technical challenges pay off, or will the venture serve as a cautionary tale of overreach? The new high-speed rail project aims to transform the country's transportation landscape by significantly reducing travel time between the two most important economic hubs, Hanoi in the north and Ho Chi Minh City in the south. Currently, the journey by conventional rail takes over 30 hours. By introducing high-speed trains, the new system promises to significantly reduce travel time.
It's from Tokyo to Osaka in Japan.
Yes.
And the second one from Beijing to Shanghai in China.
The high-speed rail also draws inspiration from similar projects worldwide, particularly in countries like China and Japan, where high-speed trains have revolutionized transportation and spurred economic growth. Vietnam's new railway will span approximately 1,541 kilometers, traversing 20 provinces and cities between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. It will feature 23 passenger stations and 5 freight stations, enhancing both passenger travel. Designed for trains operating at speeds up to 350 kilometers per hour, the journey between the two cities is expected to be reduced from the current 30 hours to about 5 hours. The project emphasizes sustainability, with plans to integrate renewable energy sources and environmentally friendly materials wherever possible. Additionally, the stations are expected to act as hubs for economic activity, spurring urban development and creating new business opportunities. The construction of the new high-speed railway is scheduled to commence in 2027, and the railway is expected to be operational by 2035. High-speed rail is significantly more environmentally friendly than road or air travel.
Hello, everyone. This is Akolina. You are watching Coffee with Lina podcast. HST. What does it mean? High speed train. This is new in Vietnam. Today we will discuss about this. My guest is Mr. Than Bui. He is a professor and dean of University of Transport and Communication, Hanoi. We all know about high speed railway.
Yes.
And can you please explain more about this? How does it work?
Yes, yeah, I think high-speed railway is much faster mode of transport rather than the conventional railway, and it started since 1964 in Japan with the Japanese Shinkansen for the Olympic Tokyo in 1964, and then it spread out first from Europe, particularly France and Germany, among other countries in Europe.
Yes.
And recently, China, Korea, Taiwan, among many other Asian countries. And also now we have seen that the development of high-speed train under construction start in United States,
Yes.
almost start in Canada, and of course in India, with the first high-speed train from Mumbai to Ahmedabad.
Yes.
And then already in the Southeast Asia, we have, let's say, Xiaomi high-speed train in Laos and Cambodia.
Yes.
And we have a full high-speed train in Indonesia.
Yes.
And also, let's say, China is one of the let's say the country have a very comprehensive high-speed train system with more than 45,000 kilometers now, and also in Korea they also have a network of high-speed train, and Taiwan they have a north-south corridor high-speed train. So there's many countries have a high-speed train. So simply it is a way to, let's say, to move faster and more convenient, and especially it's very suitable for, let's say, for medium let's say side transportation.
Yes.
Let's say by derivation it can be 500 kilometer, within 500 kilometer, or 700 kilometer, or even 1000 kilometer. It depends. So let's say some country, for example in China, so the city of Xi'an is the middle of China. They can connect to, it can connect with high-speed train to different city. So then the airport is not popular. Airplane is not popular in Xi'an province because it's located in the center of China. So it all depends on the network and on the speed it can operate. So typically, like in Europe, they can connect, let's say, different countries, and within each country, like some very famous routes. For example, the route from Paris to Lyon in France, and the route from Paris to Brussels, the route from Brussels to Cologne in Germany, for example, or to Frankfurt. So it is very, let's say, popular mode of transport in the world right now. And then let's say normally many countries have to have let's say a dedicated track for high-speed trains. So that is let's say a very brief introduction about high-speed train. But by let's say by definitions, there's two factors, two main factors you can consider, but actually four technically. So two factor is you can say that this is rolling stocks, the train and the passenger car, right? And then you have the infrastructure. It have to be, let's say, very good for high-speed train. We call it a dedicated track.
Yes.
And then you also have a very good, let's say, and reliable and safe system to control. For example, the European rail control system. Speed train have to be powered by electricity because it fast, convenience, reliable, and it allows for the train to accelerate and deaccelerate very quickly.
Yes.
So it is, let's say, a four pillar to build high-speed trains. Every country would like to develop high-speed train have to be, let's say, take advanced technologies on that's separate for pillar
Yes.
high-speed rail system.
It is very interesting how you explain this. Everywhere I see now, South Asian country, Europe, all the network system of the high-speed railway system is really unique, and it needs lot of effort and efficiency of the engineers.
Yes.
So how they will invest their time and their efficiency, it's pretty challenging too.
Yes.
But still it's spreading so fast because of the convenience and their efficiency of the high-speed railway. So my second question is to you: high-speed railway system reshaped the travel, like reshaped the definition of travel across the world, like South Korea, Japan, maybe France, maybe in China. So now it's in Vietnam, right?
Yes.
So why Vietnamese government is so much interested to launch high-speed rail in Vietnam?
Yes.
That's my question.
Actually, it's been, let's say, as you said, it's been redefined. Let's say the transport mode, transport system of the countries. For example, let's say I take two lines that is very popular in the world right now. Is the first one is from Tokyo to Osaka in Japan.
Yes.
And the second one from Beijing to Shanghai in China.
Very popular.
Yes. Now they start to build, let's say, second lines. Or maybe the third line because it is so fast and so convenient. So Vietnam is also a very long country, so we take an approach to build, let's say, the north-south high-speed railway lines. So let's say it mimics something called very profitable and very let's say efficient. Lines. So because now we, let's say, in one day we can have 60 flight.
Yes.
Between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City.
Ho Chi Minh, right.
And it is so crowded now, especially during, let's say, New Year holidays, Tet holidays, our, let's say, Spring Festival. So if we can have, let's say, the line to connect those, I think, very popular lines in Japan and in China, I think it will be very much efficient for the countries.
Yes.
So it is let's say just take about one line, but then you can expand it in a network. So let's say high speed train can, how can I say, it can it is a way to modernize the countries. Because if you let's say develop the airplanes like Vietnam, we don't have technology and it can be, let's say, very expensive to invest in to build, let's say, aerospace engineering industries. So normally we have to depend on the, let's say, like to buy from airplane from Airbus in Europe or from Boeing in United States. And if we can develop, let's say, our high-speed train system, we can develop ourselves. Of course, let's say the technology first have to be imported from other countries, but gradually we can, let's say, do it ourselves.
Yes.
So that means it is modern technologies, but we can, let's say, we can adopt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then how about, let's say, economic growth? So we have, let's say, logistic and passenger transportation is very important for the country to growth. So let's say when we develop a lines, let's say there's normally you think to connect two cities. But then there's an idea that the country should develop so-called TOD, that is transport oriented development. That means from the north to the south, from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City, we can build many urban areas along the line for development. And the idea that the line should go along the coast of Vietnam, and I think it will boost the economic development for the whole countries.
Definitely.
And the third thing is that it is for, let's say, environmental issue, because let's say it is electric-based mode of transportation. If you compare to airplanes, so each second it can, let's say, consume many gallons of fuel. So let's say for environmental sustainability is very important. To how can I say, to develop high speed train. That
it's good for your country too.
Yes,
for the environment too.
It is let's say, because it is let's say sustainable
development.
Development, and also normally now we call it competitiveness, economic competitiveness, because when we have different mode of transport, different mode of logistic, we can, let's say, build a network. Let's say logistic and transportation. We can build logistic centers, and we can, let's say, move people, let's say, in a very high number, in a very high frequency. So we call it mass transportation. So transportation for the mass. Let's say for spring festivals or some occasion, we can let's say increase the frequency of the train service very easily.
Very easily.
Whereas if let's say for the airport and for the airplane, for safety factor, you have to limit the number of flight per hour that can land and can take off in one airport. But for the train, you can imagine that it can
reach anywhere.
Yeah. You can let's say
Too.
you can develop, say, for example, or typical train setup include let's say 8 passenger car. But in the let's say in the rush hour, it can increase into let's say 14 or 16 cars, passenger car. So typically, it's operate in the same manner.
Same manner.
You simply just
and economic, like it's much more economic than the flight.
Yes. So let's say in that sense, for the economic competitiveness, I think high-speed train will further improve the growth.
Yes.
And then you can say that now, let's say economic power, like Japan, like United States, Canada, Europe, India,
South Korea,
South Korea, all they build high-speed trains.
Yes. As per my opinion, I want to mention something about Vietnam because long time I have been here. So always I see that full, like from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh, or maybe Ho Chi Minh to Hanoi. Some people I see always 1 hour flight. After 1 year, 1 hour, the flight is available, and too much rush. I see even, but still I want to. I see them very confident in traveling flight. Means the people maybe who are coming from the province, maybe the old age people, still they are very comfortable because they don't really use the train. Maybe their only option is plane.
Yes.
And much more through that I can understand that you can distribute the gathering, maybe the travel rate in train, high-speed train, rather than in the flight. That's good for the flight rush will be less.
Yes.
The flight pressure in the airport less crowded. Maybe they can get something new, the high-speed train, and time saving.
Yes.
High-speed rail. And one more thing, that's economic growth. You can create many jobs.
Yes.
And the environment friendly.
Yes.
And much more competitive things. So always the flight ticket and the train ticket may be different, and it will be more cheaper for the normal people.
Yes.
That's very good initiative the Vietnamese government has taken, because they are also watching the other South Asian countries. They are also doing the same with Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, maybe India also are in the queue. And now I'm curious to know that Vietnam government has approved the project.
Yes.
Right. So when they will start, and what is the plan?
Yes. So just last year, the National Assembly just approved the pre-feasibility study of the North-South high-speed line. And then we move to the second stage to do a feasibility study, and then come to detailed designs and then construction. So we expect to start to build the lines in 2027, and expect to finish in about 8 years. So by 2035, we will have the high speed line between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. But saying that it is almost 1,600 kilometers, but we already foreseen to decide to divide into, let's say, for example, 3 phases. First of all, the first phase from Hanoi to Vinh.
Yes.
And also immediately from Ho Chi Minh City to Nha Trang. And then we complete the rest.
Yes.
So in that sense, even let's say we can build, let's say, a trial sections of the line, for example, from Hanoi to Hà Nam or to Nam Định province or to Thanh Hóa province. Just let's say about 50 kilometer section, for example, or until 300 kilometer sections. So then we have something called, let's say, section by section or
Yes.
phase development. That means the first phase could be Hanoi to Vinh in let's say 3 years or 4 or 5 years, and immediately from
Then you will extend it more.
Ho Chi Minh City to Nha Trang, which is also about 300 kilometers, and to develop in the middle or the central region of Vietnam, right immediately after the first two sections. So by let's say divide into phases, I think we can implement it
Later on.
later on, and also for investment, for technical the training, and for operations. So let's say step by step.
You have the plan.
We have a plan until 2035 to have the complete.
2027, you will start the project and you will finish it 2035.
35.
Yes.
And also, right now we have the government have approved to build the, let's say the semi high-speed line from Hai Phong to Lao Cai province. So that means Lao Cai province is further in the north, and let's say the line will connect Lao Cai
Quickly.
Yes, to Hanoi and then to Hai Phong. Hai Phong is a port city, so Lao Cai is a province in the mountainous area, is the northern parts of Vietnam. So we can connect
The business hub.
Business hub, and then to further invest and further develop. Job creation in Lao Cai province and also in Hai Phong province. Of course, Hanoi is in the middle.
Yes.
And also, for example, for international trade. Like in the Yunnan province in China, if they go, let's say inland in China, they have to go a long way to the port of Shanghai and Guangzhou. But if they can choose a route from Lao Cai to Hai Phong, I think it cuts short.
Cut short, yes.
The like and the distance, and they can further put the, let's say, the export of that part of China, and then we can, let's say, have a more passenger, we can have a more freight, and then the let's say the efficiency of the line will be further improved.
Yes.
And then from Ho Chi Minh City, we can connect, for example, to Phnom Penh, the capital city of Cambodia. So we already can, let's say, distribute that's let's say concentration development that in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, but then we can have distributed development that we could further develop from Ho Chi Minh City to around the provinces and urban area around Ho Chi Minh City and also in Hanoi, and also connect internationally from Hanoi to China, to the Yunnan province in China, and also from Ho Chi Minh to Phnom Penh in Cambodia. So that let's say we could have let's say complete. We can already think about to build a complete system. With the backbone is a high-speed rail line between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. So that is planned, and then for the university, we now have let's say dedicated program for high-speed railway. Yes, then we have let's say also 4 pillars as I mentioned in the high-speed railway. So university we have 4 faculty with department inside. We have let's say the faculty of civil engineering, let's say train student in infrastructures, dedicated lines and road and bridges and tunnel, things like that. And then we have a mechanical faculty of mechanical engineering, and they have let's say department to study about the rolling stock. That means the train and the locomotive, passenger car
passenger.
and the locomotive. And then we have department of electricity and electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering.
Yes, so it is let's say four pillar
Four
of
pillar
technologies,
technologies
to support the
to support
development
this
of high-speed rails
this project.
system projects. Yes.
So it's a very good idea how you have the thread of imagination. I can see how you are imagining. I am in front of me that how you planned everything together that for making it a successful one. I can remember 1969, if I'm not wrong, Japan first started the bullet train. This train.
1964.
1964, yes.
Yes.
And but now I see in Japan they have built maybe, yes, China has, not Japan, China has built 40,000 kilometer maybe. The 45,000
Yes.
kilometer. But yes, it's not impossible in Vietnam too, because I can see that how you are explaining your four pillar, the mechanical, civil,
Yeah.
locomotive and electrical.
Yes.
That four pillars will help to make a successful plan
Yes.
for this project, and you will start in three phases.
Yes.
First one is from Hanoi to Vinh.
Yes.
Vinh is the business city, business place, and the main intention of the government, the strategy, I can see that to unify the people,
Yes.
to unify the country.
Yes.
Better to say,
Yeah.
because lot of people are in the province.
Yes.
Some of them they cannot achieve their economic growth because of their transportation or maybe other reason too. But if you make it cheaper, the transportation, and quick, it will be very easier for them to access in both way economic growth, and they can engage themselves in the job.
Yes. Yes.
That's very good opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And of course, let's say as I mentioned, the railway system we cannot build in one day.
Yes.
So then it had to be foresee a very good plan in the long term, from the very first line and to the, let's say, the complete system. We call it comprehensive system.
Yes.
So to build a network, you have to start by section and further to the,
then you can accelerate in the future.
And then every urban areas, every area, every region can take advantage of the high-speed train line. And normally we call it the corridor. So we're going to have a north-south corridor. With we already have the, let's say, motorway, like motorway from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City, and then now we have a high-speed railway.
Yes.
So that will, let's say, boost the economic growth for all urban area.
Yes.
Or otherwise we can develop a new urban area along the line. So I think it is a feasible one, and then we already foreseen 23 stations along the line. To start from Hanoi and to end in Ho Chi Minh City.
Yes.
And then we can already connect the, let's say, the Long Thanh airport in near Ho Chi Minh City is under construction now.
Yes.
And next year we will have the first commercial flight. Commercial flight that start and land from Long Thanh airport near Ho Chi Minh City, and then the high-speed rail, like we've been in the future. Already we think about to connect with let's say the airport.
Yes.
So that it is we will form, let's say, a very complete comprehensive system of transportation.
Yes. Definitely, it's very impressive plan. I can see how the government is thinking about the high-speed railway in Vietnam. In the near future, you can accelerate your plan and spread it more. That will be beneficial for all the people of Hanoi, and maybe the whole country can get the benefit. And it is a strategy, again I'm saying, to unify the people of Vietnam. And province people, they can come to city within very short time, and they want to start a short business trip. They can have a business trip. Maybe they can start something new, or they can join somewhere very quick for the office, for the university for many purpose.
Yes, yes.
Endless number of opportunities are opening for this high speed railway. So I would like to conclude my conversation with Mr. Than. Definitely, lot of wishes and lot of support you will get
Yes.
from your four pillar
Yes,
of
yes.
the university,
Yeah.
and you will succeed.
Yes, thank you, Brad. And also, I just mentioned that a very technical term that is one day cheap. That means people in the, for example, in Hanoi, people, let's say, in the Paris, let's say, in the distant, less than 100 kilometers, they can work in Hanoi and they can go back. And for in my case, before I stay in Brussels, and I can, let's say, have a meeting in Paris
Yes.
in the morning and in the afternoon, and then go back to
Come back.
Brussels. Let's say I didn't have to live in Paris,
In Paris.
which is very expensive. So that means, let's say, many people can take advantage
Of this
of
thing,
the
high speed
system.
railway.
And also, let's say, for our country, normally people, let's say, when we, let's say, decide to do something, we do with our, let's say, more efforts. And before, let's say, we already build a very very famous route. It's called Ho Chi Minh Trail. That is for logistic for the war, the unification of Vietnam. And then we build let's say, very famous Ho Chi Minh Trail, Ho Chi Minh route to connect between the north and the south. And I think with the determination, we can surely
achieve the goal.
Achieve the goals. And also, I would like to make it, let's say, different introductions. This is the very first introduction, let's say, to have an idea of what is high-speed rail, and also the project to connect the north to the south of Vietnam for the near future. But we can go, let's say, in more details of how we can implement the projects possible to prepare for skilled worker, for skilled engineers, and also, let's say, to have resources like for standardized girders for bridges, and also for the steel construction, let's say, steel structures. And then among other things.
Maybe
So
the ingredients for making
gradients, and also resources for building the high-speed line, which is in very large scale.
Yes. Okay. So we will definitely discuss in other podcasts these things, and I'm pretty much sure that all engineers and all the members who will be working for this project, their dedication and their devotion definitely help you to achieve the goal.
Yes.
That's very important.
Yes. And the last thing I would like to mention is Vietnam has a population of more than 100 million now. And let's say with the rate of growth now, if we project in the, let's say, 5 or 6 or 7 years, we will soon achieve 1,000 billion US dollar for the revenues. That's where the growth
for the economic. That's the kind of economic growth for your country.
Yes. And then let's say the demand for transportation and everything will be much higher when both condition. And I don't think many countries in the world can have that status. More than 100 million in populations, and with the revenues more than 1,000 billion US dollar. And then we can, let's say, translate the economic growth power into, let's say, a real power for Vietnam to have a complete network of infrastructure.
Yes, definitely. Why not?
Yes.
Vietnam can I see how Vietnam is growing. Definitely, Vietnam can get the goal. They can reach the goal and they can spread their network everywhere.
Yes.
Air, in the land, maybe the overhead, everywhere they can spread the network to make the people more comfortable,
Yes,
give the more facility to the people
yeah,
for unification.
Yes.
That they can that a make kind of government strategy. It's really great strategy they have taken
Yeah.
to unify the people from the different place, means with each other. Maybe the
Yes.
province people can come to Hanoi, the Hanoi people go to province.
Yes.
Quick time. The time is like money,
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to appreciate that how the government has taken this project, and they can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I can say they can do it. They will do it.
Yes, yes.
And it's a great initiative from the government.
Yes, yes. Okay,
Thank you.
you.